Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and good morning, everyone. I have a lot of thank yous today, and I think it wouldn't be fitting to start the day on December 7th without thanking our veterans. It's because of them that we have the opportunity to have these opportunities and to do all the things that we do each and every day, and I'm so very appreciative to them for what they've done. I'd also like to thank my wife and my family. They've supported me by by giving their time to attend events, to campaign for me, endless parades, support in so many ways, and in allowing me time to do something that was important for me that I thought could make a difference for them and for everyone else. It's interesting you addressed me as the Honorable Joel Johnson. Early on, just after getting elected, I got a piece of mail, and it was the first one that said the Honorable Joel Johnson. And I opened it at home with my wife, and I said, "Don't worry, you don't have to call me Honorable." And she said, "Don't worry." I'd like to thank my parents who taught me so much. They taught me the importance of work and responsibility. Things like be on time, get to work early, always under-promise and over-perform. Live the golden rule, treat others as you would like to be treated. You can usually predict what animals will do in given situations, people not so much. Don't judge others by their education. My dad didn't finish high school, but if I was in a tight spot, there was nobody else I would depend on more to get me out than my dad. We miss him. You can disagree without being disagreeable. Another important thing, if you lose your temper, you're going to lose the argument. I'd also like to thank the voters of the 97th District. These are great people who supported me from the beginning. They helped me in so many ways. Many had great suggestions. Many of those suggestions have now become law. Many of those people were friends. Many more have become friends. I'd also like to thank my staff and other volunteers. First off, Ben Frederick, who's been with me the whole time as my legislative aide. Because of Ben, I was able to hit the ground running. He had experience here that I didn't have. I really appreciate that. Now he's the representative-elect for the 85th District, and I'm excited to see that, that fruition there. Aaron Bayless, who served me the last 4 years as my constituent aide. I hope to get a chance to talk to him about him a little bit more. He's moved on as a session clerk in the Senate, and a great young man. I've depended a lot on these guys and have depended on them more and more as time went on. They've been a great benefit to me and my constituents. They even answered my phone calls and texts on their own time, most of the time quite cheerfully, and probably way too often. Our new constituent relations person, Joe Perry, who's doing a great job. Joe will also be working for my successor, Jason Wentworth, who will also do a great job. Some of these folks are in the gallery, if you might look for them too up there. But so our other constituent relations people, Josh Atkinson, who's also in the gallery, did a great job for me and for my constituents. True to his roots and to our passion in our office, Josh is now working in education, and he's a college guidance counselor. Rachel Murdoch was a great help in our office and loves helping people. She now continues to serve people in one of our good senator's offices. Eric Eckelbarger began working with me before I was elected, helped me become elected, and was our first constituent relations person. He has a true heart for helping others and has found many ways to do that back in the district. Others who have helped, we had many interns and other volunteers: Jonathan Haley, Adam Krajaleski, who now works for Congressman Molinar, Josiah Baer, Caleb Hortop, who now works for the Mackinac Center, Sarah Coker, Brandon Wright, Greg Gardner, who also assisted Jason Wentworth in his campaign, Sierra Love, who helped Ben Frederick with his campaign for state rep and will be his constituent relations person. Several others who are all great people to work with and perform great service for the people of our district and the state of Michigan. Sometimes we wondered about taking on interns and whether it was worth our time and the time of our staff to train those people. But I can tell you something, we never had a dud. They were all great. They were all great and did a great job. So thank you to all of them. Thank you to our central staff, our security, and to the governor and lieutenant governor for the things that they've done for us. Also, thank you to our informative lobbyists. They've been very helpful in many different ways to keep us informed, and that's valuable. A while before I began running, I visited with my wife, my daughter, and her husband who lived in Hawaii. I will mention that about 4 years ago they came back. That's one of the reasons I came here, because I wanted them back. And I think a lot of us have experienced that with our children coming home to Michigan, and that's exciting. But one of the things that we did while we were there is we visited a volcano. And of course, you can't go all the way to Hawaii and not come back with a t-shirt. So I found a t-shirt. It was a very nice t-shirt. It was black and it was a little different than anything that I had. It had a picture of the volcano. The wording underneath it, I had a little trouble with it. But the wording said, "I went with the flow," and it showed the volcano. And so I went ahead and got it. I didn't wear it very often because of the wording. I said, you know, I don't go with the flow. But it was interesting that a short time later, during my campaign, some great friends and supporters had an event for me on their farm. Toward the end of the event, they gave me a hat. And on the hat, it had a picture of a fish skeleton, and it said, "Only dead fish go with the flow." And they said, "Joel, we know you're not going to go with the flow. You're going to fight for us." And I've tried to do that every step of the way. Although I do my best to keep people separate from issues, I've never been one to go along with the flow or go along to get along. With help of many of you, we've been able to accomplish some very good things. Many of you helped pass the bill that ended retirement health care for us, for some who were elected shortly before us, and for all who will be elected after us. I had reporters in my district that said, "This is an empty campaign promise that will never happen." You guys helped me prove them wrong, and I really appreciate that. It was the right thing to do. And it just shows that we cared and we're not willing to live with the status quo. Many of you also came through to help support changes for the Michigan Merit Curriculum. Changes suggested by many of our educators and employers in our state who worked with myself and Representative McBroom to make some changes that help allow our students more opportunities in high school to learn about careers and to get their feet wet in something that could be a worthwhile career for them throughout their life. and I appreciate the governor and lieutenant governor's help on that. These changes have really made a difference. I've heard from a lot of students, parents, and educators that the enrollment in these programs is really going up, and it's something that we need because we have these jobs that are available, and we need to match the people to those jobs. We've worked together to hold our departments more accountable, to create an atmosphere where businesses can flourish, where we can train people to fill the jobs these businesses create. We've worked together to protect our rights and the rights of our most vulnerable. We've been together to accomplish many good things. We've worked hard. We've had a lot of fun together. And we've been through some tough times together. These are things that make friendship strong. We certainly miss our friends, Pete and Julie, and I'm honored to be able to call them my friends. I'm also honored to call you my friends and hope our friendship will last a long time. I'm thankful for the great strides that we've made in Michigan the last 6 years. I'm thankful for the honor that I've had to be able to serve here. And I do take this responsibility very seriously. I'm confident that those who will continue here next year will continue to move Michigan forward with relentless positive action and service above self. I share the prayer that's been expressed by several of those who have spoken before me. May God bless all of you. May God bless the great state of Michigan, and may God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Johnson.